Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic Record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Join me every week. I release new episodes every Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to episode 83. Thank you for listening. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle, and I am excited for today's episode. It is going to be a little, not tough love episode, but I feel like this topic needs to be discussed around what are your special talents and gifts. This question gets asked a lot in the Akashic Records, and I had 3 back-to-back Akashic Record readings, and every single reading asked this question, and I was like, I need to talk about this because it's a theme, and what the records say about it is so interesting, so I thought I would make an episode about it. Before we jump into that, we will go into announcements. I do have a Reiki Level 1 and Reiki Level 2 coming up. Reiki Level 2 is on July 24th and 25th, and the next Reiki Level 1 is August 7th and 8th. Right now they are being waitlisted. They're not open yet. If you wish to get on the waitlist, send me an email, themediuminthemiddle@gmail.com, so you will be the first to know when registration opens. And this month's meeting in the middle is next week on Thursday, the last Thursday of every month. We are talking about boundaries. How to set spiritual and personal boundaries when you need one, how you add it, what they look like. So it's going to be a really good workshop. I think it's very needed. This topic has been coming up a lot recently, so I'm really excited to talk about it. You can register for that on my website as well, themediuminthemiddle.com, as well as book an appointment with me. I do distance Reiki, Akashic Record Reading, PSYCH-K. All of that is available on my website. The link will be in the show notes, nice and easy. And today I'm pulling 2 cards from the Kyle Gray The Angel Guide Oracle deck. I've been obsessed with Kyle Gray recently. I recently followed him on Instagram, and I love his accent, number 1. Number 2, he's just cool, and I really like his stuff. So I was wanting to pull 2 cards from the Angel deck, and I pulled Ease and Grace and Honesty and Communication. So I'm going to read you the full card descriptions. Honesty and Communication. You are being given an opportunity to speak your truth. You have reached a point in your journey where you must be honest with yourself and all those around you. If you are holding anything or feel you need to share something in order to feel free, know that your angel guide is encouraging you to act on this now. Ooh, this card is for me. When you share your feelings and speak truthfully, you draw the support and light of the universe into your heart. If you are in a challenging position and find it difficult communicating what is in your heart, call in angels and ask them to support you. They want you to know that when you speak with honesty, you attract experiences that lovingly reflect who you really are. Ooh, so this is definitely for me and probably for you too. It's interesting because when I was thinking about why there was such a theme the one day that I had these 3 Akashic Records back to back, I was thinking that I have a learning lesson here. I can either be the teacher who lets you figure it out on your own and kind of leave it in the hands of if you want to do the work or not, or I can choose to be not like a hard ass, but I can choose to kind of support people through these lessons and kind of help explain the why. Because I've always been in my mind like, oh, it's their job to figure it out. Oh, it's their job to, work on that now. And I was just thinking like, why can't I support others through this? Why can't I offer my opinion? And I do want to kind of add that this is definitely my opinion today and my from my perspective of being in the records and what they've said. So it's just very interesting that I think this is actually going to be helpful for a lot of people so they aren't searching for something. And I always say this, I feel very lucky that I get to go in the records so often because I get the wisdom that they're sharing because I can still hear myself when I'm in the records. And I feel that I want to share as much as that with you, the listener, so that you can also learn from these lessons. So very interesting first card. And then the second card, ease and grace. This is a time to learn and adapt. You are being guided to slow down, take your time, take in the current moment, and allow space for events to occur. You often put too much pressure and expectation on yourself, and this is not required. Did I pull 2 cards for me today? Also, with constant effort and rush, you'll find yourself becoming overwhelmed and tired. When you are too forceful, you'll use up too much energy, and that may hinder your progress at this time. If you are in a difficult situation at work or with other people, don't feel you have to prove your skills, talents, or worth. Just step back and breathe, and through grace, you will be seen, understood, and recognized for who you truly are. Very interesting. So I learned another hard lesson. Well, it wasn't a hard lesson, but it was definitely a lesson. So in Alberta, we're in another lockdown, as I know a lot of Canada is. And my in-person business got closed. So I have days of the week that are for in-person, and then I have days of the week that are for online. And I decided that with this lockdown, normally I would just open up those in-person days for online appointment days and just work constantly. But I was thinking like, no, I need to have a day off. I need to not open up those appointments for online. I have 3 Reiki courses this month and next month. I need to save my energy, and this is a gift of time and rest, and I need to take it. And it was so hard because when you're go, and then you're kind of forcing yourself to take 1 or 2 days off, and I'm really trying for 2 days off on the weeks that I have Reiki courses, it's difficult because I'm looking at things I need to do and I see my inbox and I see my DMs, but it's very, very, very important that you know that when you stop and slow down, you're only supporting yourself. You're only supporting your future self. And yes, it might be difficult to get into the habit, but it's so, so, so valuable and worth it. So I'm sure a lot of you needed to hear those messages as well. So I hope they landed for you. Okay, let's jump into this week's topic because I'm very excited to discuss this. Again, my own perspective, my own point of view from what I've experienced in the Akashic Records. But I've talked about how what is my purpose is like my number one, I don't even want to say hated question in the Akasha because sometimes it does give a good answer, but sometimes it's just a runaround, fluffy, not direct, your purpose is learning lessons, la la la. So following that, my second least liked question in the Akashic Records is, what are my special talents and gifts? Or what are my unique talents and gifts? And I'm sure this is on the internet as a good question to ask. And it's interesting because the Akashic Records always ask back, like, why are you asking this? And they don't mean it in a mean way. It's always like, do you have no idea what your gifts are? Do you have no idea what you're meant to be doing? Are you just asking for confirmation? And they always give an example that's something like this. What if we told you right now you're meant to be a banker? What if you don't like banking? What if your special talents and gifts are to be a banker? And it's just like, it doesn't really matter what we say now unless you're interested in it. Because of choice and free will, that's the beautiful thing about life is you get to choose. And the Akashic Records will never get in the way of your free will. So they use the banker example. They'll also say, what if we're here to tell you you're a great soccer player and that's your greatest talents and gifts? And I know these aren't the things people are looking for. They're probably looking to be like, oh, I have mediumship abilities. Oh, I'm meant to be a healer. Oh, I'm meant to be working with whatever it may be. But they use these examples to kind of like show the point, I think. Like they make it so extreme, like, oh, your greatest talents and gift is to be a banker, or your greatest talents and gift is to be a soccer player. I think they use these examples to kind of drive home the lesson. So when they say, what if we say today, you're meant to be a soccer player and that's your greatest talents and gifts. But if you've never kicked a soccer ball, how would you ever know that you're great at soccer? If you've never given it a try, how would you know that you're great at it? And it's like this, there's nothing being hidden from you. There's nothing that's hidden under a rock, buried deep underneath somewhere. And if you don't specifically turn to 98 degrees and walk 4 steps, turn around in a circle and walk the other way and uncover the third rock on the left to find this hidden special talent and gift, you will never know what you're meant to be doing. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is what we think in our heads. And they explain it as there's nothing being hidden from you. There's no special talent or gift that you don't know about. But you still have to go on a road of discovery. The Akashic Records aren't going to be your cheat sheet answers. They're going to help explain the questions for you. So I want you to know that when you're asking these questions, they're not going to tell you a unique secret talent and gift. They're going to say, have you explored different options? Have you seen, do you like playing soccer? Do you like playing baseball? Do you like playing whatever it may be? And even when you get to that, so say you do discover you like baseball. In order for it to be a growing gift, you need to work on it. You need to invest the time in it. Are you going to practice it every day for 2 hours? Are you going to work on it on the weekend? Are you going to take courses in this area to get better at it? So it's all these things that are up to you and personal choice. Choice comes into so much. So yes, there can be things you should be doing, but if you don't want to play soccer, it doesn't matter if it's your greatest talent and gifts, you're not going to play soccer. So I wanted to discuss this today because it comes up and it's like, well, why are you asking this? Do you have no idea what you're good at? And some people will say, I have no idea what I'm good at. I feel like I'm not good at anything, or I feel like I'm not great at anything. And I wanted to discuss this because you may not know now. And I want you to take this as an opportunity to learn and discover more about yourself instead of kind of giving up. So we'll keep it with sports because that's easy. So if you play soccer and you don't like it, okay, try baseball. I don't like it. Okay, try football. I don't like it. Okay, try tennis. Ooh, I kind of like tennis. Okay. Tennis is getting kind of boring. Okay, try golf. Wow, I'm really good at golf. You need to keep trying. You need to keep going out there. But what happens as humans is we see, oh, I didn't like soccer. That's a failure. Oh, I didn't like baseball. That's a failure. Oh, I wasn't good at tennis. Turns out that's a failure. And it's not a failure. It's not a waste of time. If you are growing and expanding and discovering in the same way that we date people to see who we like the most, you need to do this with your talents and your gifts and your jobs. So it's just really interesting where there's nothing being hidden from you. And I also wanted to talk about like the other side of this where I know Danielle Sarank, the Squamish medium, talks about this a lot. She was told that she was a medium from a very young age. And she's like, I had multiple mediums tell me I was a medium. And she's like, I laughed in their face. She's like, no, I'm not. And for years, she was being told in readings that she was a medium. And she just laughed at them. She's like, no, I'm not. I'm never going to be in this work. What are you talking about? And now, years later, she's the Squamish medium. So even if I did tell you today that your special gift is this, it's still up to you when you discover it, when you expand it, when you work on it, when you find it. So there's so many elements here. And I thought that was so interesting because I get asked a lot if I can see or tell underdeveloped gifts. And that is not something that I can do. I do believe other people can do it. Like, hey, have you ever tried this before? I think you might be good at it. It's just not something I particularly do. So yes, I think it's something that can be presented to you for sure in different ways. I've never had the Akashic Records specifically say it. I've had them explain things. So for example, some people might go through some certain trauma, and while they're asking about the trauma, why they experienced it, the Akashic Records will describe that because of this trauma, because of the life lessons and the learnings, they're going to be supporting others in it. So while it's not a unique talent and gift, it is something that's in their life that seems hard now, but it's like, well, you're going to help people with this in the future. This is going to be part of your future. Like, you're learning this for a reason to help others. So they've definitely explained it like that. But because of free will, they can't say certain things. Like, they can't tell you what you're supposed to do, what you're meant to be good at. It's up to you to try it, discover it, see if you like it, and then work on it. And they've also said before, some people are born being really good at soccer, and they pick up the soccer ball for the first time and they're kicking it and scoring and doing all these amazing things. And yeah, they barely need to practice and they're great. There's definitely people like that. Then there's some people who, kick the soccer ball and they're interested, but they're not that great yet. But when they practice 2 hours a day, they turn out really good in 5 years. And it's like, wow, you're really good. And they're like, well, I've practiced every day for, the past 5 years. Then there's some people who need to practice for 10 years before they get really good. And just be mindful that everybody is different. But what do we see? We see the people who pick up the soccer ball and who are good right away. We see the mediums who have one reading and they're incredible, and then they move forward like this. And again, don't compare your chapter 1 to other people's chapter 40s, 50s, 20s, or even their chapter 1s, because everybody's is so different. And I feel like we get in this comparison trap of, I'm meant to be here doing this, I don't even know, I'm so lost. And the takeaway that I want you to hear from this is that there's not going to be a stick that falls from the sky and bonks you on the head and tells you what you're meant to be doing. Does that happen sometimes? Yes. You're going to have those aha moments. You're going to have those sparks of, inspiration where you're like, oh my God, I should be doing this. That absolutely happens. But without investing the work and the time into yourself, I really don't believe that there's any cheat sheet, there's anything. Because even if I told you today you're great at soccer and your secret talent and gift is a soccer player, you still need to go out and get a soccer ball. You still need to go on the soccer field. You still need to kick it around and see if you're good at it. You still need to sort out your gift. You still need to see, are you defense? Are you offense? Are you forward? Are you goalie? You still need to see, what shoes do you like to play in? How often do you need to practice? You still, etc., etc., etc. You get the point, but you still need to invest the time. And I really don't think there's shortcuts in life, but I feel like we're always looking for them. So if you needed the hard reminder that there's no quick answer sheets, there's no, and I don't want to say never, because yes, I do believe sometimes this happens when we need a kick in the right direction, when we need a kick to the soccer field, you'll get there. But because of free will, whatever you're doing, you're meant to be doing. Wherever you go, you're meant to go. Wherever you end up, you're meant to end up because you chose it. And choice is everywhere. Choice is everywhere. Everything is a choice. And I remember Lululemon again taught me this. Everything is a choice. And when you start to see that in your life, you're not forced into anything. You're not blah, 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 blah. We can make excuses of why we had to choose this or why we had to do that. Everything's a choice. Everything. You're choosing yes or no. You're choosing left or right. And when we can really wrap our head around that, we can really, really move forward with it. And we'll keep going with this soccer example because, okay, you come and you say, today your special talent is soccer. Well, I don't want to play soccer. Well, I don't want to do soccer. Okay, does that mean that you have no special talents and gifts? No. Free will take you wherever it wants to. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling that you don't know where to go, remember everything is a choice. And every experience that you choose is still a lesson in some way. Don't view it as a failure. View everything as a lesson moving you forward. Okay, did you play soccer and golf and tennis and basketball and whatever else before you realized you were great at badminton? I'm running out of sports to think of. Those aren't failures. Those are figuring out what you're good at. And yes, some people know immediately what they're good at, but some people do not. Even if someone told me when I was 18 years old that I was going to be the medium in the middle, having a podcast, I would never believe them. And that's not even helpful information for me because I'd just be like the Squamish medium being like, haha, yeah, right. I'd never do that work. Choice, free will. Choose what you want to do, choose where you go. And when you see it that way, you'll see the world as a land of opportunities. You'll see things as, yeah, everything is your oyster, everything is a choice. And it was interesting how like the same message was delivered three different ways in the Akasha, but it was always like, what do you feel? Like, do you feel like you have no talents? Why are you asking this? Why are you wanting to confirm what you're meant to be doing? Whatever you're meant to be doing is what you choose to be doing. They will never tell you you're in the completely wrong area you're meant to be in because you chose to be there. So, yeah, that's very interesting. So, I wanted to talk about that today because I wanted to talk about free will. I wanted to talk about kind of like the cheat sheet, the answer code guide, and that nothing is being hidden from you until you decide to turn over that rock. Yes, you might not know you're good at soccer, but go pick up a soccer ball and you might realize it. In the same way, if you're wanting to see what special talents and gifts you have, do you have absolutely no idea where they are? Are you like, okay, in spirituality, what am I meant to be doing? Try things. Try mediumship, try Reiki, try tarot, try palm reading, try whatever you want to try. But until you try it, you're not going to know, So it's so interesting. And I think that it's very human of us to want the answers. It's very human of us to want the explanation right now. It's very human of us to want to see big picture when we're still at the beginning of the race. But it doesn't work that way all the time. Sometimes it does work that way, but most of the time, you got to run the race to be like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I could have done this. Oh, on that corner, I could have sped up. But hindsight's always 20/20, and when we're in it, it's usually the most difficult. So, very, very interesting. I wanted to share that today because I learned a lesson and I was like, I need to share this lesson. And also, I was like, I need to be that teacher. I can't be the one who doesn't discuss these things that isn't airy fairy. It's maybe not the thing you wanted to hear today. I want to be the teacher that talks about these kind of harder subjects and helps explain them to explain why they're important, to explain why we need to go through these things. So I hope that provided you some insight today. I hope that provided you something to think about, something to inquire, and I hope it encourages you to get curious and ask questions and try new things and don't be afraid of failure and don't be afraid when things don't work out or you're not immediately great at something. Remember, not everyone's gifts are standing right in our face. Sometimes it takes years to discover them. And another thing that the records always say is we find them just when we need them. So sometimes people are like, why didn't I realize this when I was 20 or 30? Why am I just realizing this now? It's divine timing. Everything happens when it's meant to. So thank you all for listening. If you haven't already and you are an iTunes user, I would love and appreciate a rating and a review. It really helps me out in the podcast world. I'm trying to grow this podcast. We're going to be 2 in August. I'm very, very excited. And again, if you want to work with me, themediuminthemiddle.com. All links are in the show notes. I will be back next Tuesday with a new episode. I'm very excited to share how my reading with a medium named Bree went with me and Taitha. That will be a fun one. If you haven't already, press that subscribe button, and I will see you all next week in your ears. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.